In the description box below this video is a link where you can download my Excel spreadsheet that contains my cheat sheet for Week 9 of college football, Friday, October 24th and Saturday, October 25th, 2025. My cheat sheet has a unique compilation of point spread calculations based on power ratings from ESPN and TeamRankings, and highly valuable against the point spread ATS trends and over and under trends. Go to the description box below this video, click the link at the top, and it will take you to my Google Drive, which has my cheat sheet. To download this Excel file to your computer, click File, Download, Microsoft Excel. Make sure you click Enable Editing in your Excel file on your computer. Next, let's look at the Excel file with a cheat sheet for Week 9 of college football. The first column has the games numbered and also indicates whether the team is the home team or the road team. So this is the first game, Game 1. The home team is Charlotte, they're on the bottom, and the road team is at the top. This numbering system is based on the sequence that these games show up on VegasInsider.com. VegasInsider.com has a college football scoreboard, and the sequence of the games as they're presented, and as you scroll down on the web page, is the same sequence as on the spreadsheet. Next column has the teams. And then this column here that says Vegas is the actual Vegas point spread. And again, these are from VegasInsider.com scoreboard. So in the first game, North Texas and Charlotte, open refers to the opening point spread. It's not current. Now refers to the current point spread. Now. So I took the now point spread, which is current, and then I put it into the Excel file. So this first group of 3 columns, this first major section, is the ESPN Football Power Index. So the ESPN Football Power Index is an independent power rating designed to calculate point spreads. The way to get to it is you go to the college football section of ESPN, click Rankings, and then a menu pops up and you click Football Power Index. This column here, highlighted in blue, F.P.I, this is the number that I used in the spreadsheet. It's designed to calculate point spreads according to ESPN. And that's what we did here. Let's look at the spreadsheet. This column H, these are the actual power ratings from the ESPN website, updated for this week. Then this column here has the calculated point spreads. The way to calculate point spreads is you take the home team, add a home field advantage, which I use 3, but 3 or 4 standard. Then you subtract the road team's power rating. You flip that number, and then that gives you the home team's point spread. The road team is the opposite sign. So they're mirror images of each other. So Charlotte is plus 23.4. They're a home underdog. North Texas is a road favorite, minus 23.4. I have a separate video on my channel that tells you in detail how to calculate point spreads from these power ratings. Now this middle column is the important column for data analytics, and because you can tell, here I calculate the difference between the Vegas point spread and the ESPN F.P.I point spread. So in this top column here, look in the lower right right corner, and there's a little triangle. You click that triangle and click Sort, largest to smallest. Sort, largest to smallest. Here I sort and color code the discrepancies. Green is good. So in this sorting, we see that the largest point spread variation between ESPN and Vegas is Memphis. All right. Almost a touchdown. That's game 15. So let's take a closer look at game 15. Go to the first column, click the triangle, then sort A to Z. that resets the game numbering system. We're going to go to game 15. And we see that Memphis is the home team. They're an underdog by 6. ESPN's point spread actually says they should be minus 0.5. So it would be a tie. There's no ties in college football, or they would win by half a point. So based on this interpretation, this is how you would interpret it. Vegas says Memphis is an underdog at home at plus 6. So based on Vegas's prediction, that means that Memphis will lose by 6 points. ESPN says Memphis will win by half a point. What does this mean? This means that Vegas plus 6, if ESPN's calculation is correct, plus 6 would win. Also, because Memphis flips from being an underdog to a favorite, Memphis would win. So money line is in play. So let's sort again these discrepancies. And I highlighted the discrepancies that are 3 points or higher. So a field goal or a touchdown. So this is just part of the picture. So looking at this discrepancy, this gives you a clue as to looking into the game closer. Then what do? You check injuries. You look at human factors, emotional factors, matchups, offense versus defense, injuries. How do the injuries relate to each other? Can that team actually cover the point spread? All these different numbers and other factors, etc., come into an estimation in your mind of, is this an outcome that's likely to happen? And I would say you have to ask yourself, is this an outcome that's going to happen maybe 70% of the time? The break-even point is about 55% win. So in order to have a profitable betting pattern, it needs to be, you got to win 2 out of 3 times, 66%, or like 70%, 75%. Is this likely to happen? It cannot be determined by just looking at these numbers. This is just it's an early round in the analysis. But there's 48 games, and this narrows it down. Now, let's say you like another game. Well, you have to consider, but the numbers don't line up. Then it could still happen, but this is a data point. Now, to get additional data points, I calculated the point spread using 3 separate power ratings. This was the first one. Let's go to the second one. The second one is Bill Connelly's power ratings. So Bill Connelly is a sports analytics expert. He's been doing this for approximately 20 years. ESPN hired him in 2019. And he publishes and calculates his own separate power rating called the SP+. He publishes it every Sunday. You can go there, find it by going to the NCAA section of ESPN, go to rankings, and then there's SP+. So check the date. It's October 19th, which was Sunday. And then it is Bill Connelly we see. And then we see the team and the rating. This rating is the SP+ number. So I extracted these ratings and put it into the Excel spreadsheet. Bill Connelly also breaks down offense, defense, and special teams. This is useful for analyzing at a deeper level and analyzing matchups. I also provided it on my spreadsheet, but it's on the right side of the column, which I'll show you later. So now let's go back to the spreadsheet. So in the spreadsheet, I extract the numbers from the ESPN website are in this column L. Then, using this column L, I calculated the point spreads, which gave me this middle column. Well, what's the difference between Bill Connelly and Vegas? Let's sort, click, largest to smallest. And Memphis, again, there's a discrepancy. But this time, Bill Connelly says 11.9. And then we see also here, Toledo is an 8.9 discrepancy. Cincinnati is a 7.9 discrepancy. So now let's reset the page, and let's sort that first column. We're going to go to the third power rating, which is TeamRankings. So TeamRankings has a predictive rating, predictive rankings and ratings. And this is the name of their power ratings. And they say it's designed to be predictive. And it's used to calculate point spreads. And on their webpage, how do you get to it? TeamRankings.com. You go to Rankings and Polls, and it's right here, Predictive Rankings. So this column here has teams. The column right next to it is ratings. That is the power rating. So these numbers here are the numbers that I put into the spreadsheet. It is this column, column P. I use that to calculate the point spreads, and here's the delta, the difference. This is the important column. Let us sort largest to smallest. Boom. Toledo is a 7-point discrepancy. Let's take a look at them. Road game is 33. Scroll down. They're on the road. They're playing Washington. Point spread is only 1.5. But Team Ranking says that they're going to win by 5.6. Again, these are just additional data points. So now let's resort. So those were the 3 different point spread calculations. What I also did to help when you do the sorting, here, let's sort again here. What I did was in column R, I list the opposing team. So in one column, you can see that they're the road team, game 33 Toledo, the Vegas point spread, and then you can see that they're playing Washington State. And that's what this column R, it's the gray column. So if you scroll to the right, you'll have the opposing team. Now let's move over. Let me adjust the Excel spreadsheet first of all. All right. Now let me show you some more stuff from Team Rankings. This is actually very important information also, including against the spread and over and under trends. So also on TeamRankings.com. Team Rankings, by the way, was started in about 25 years ago by some graduates from Stanford. If you go to odds and then team trends, they will have win-loss, against the spread, and over the under trends. I took these numbers from Team Rankings and then put them into the cheat sheet. So first, let's look at the win-loss. So here I have the teams. Here, let's sort A to Z. So whenever you look at a game, you can then compare the win-loss records of both teams. We see that Charlotte has a win percentage of 14. North Texas has a win percentage of 85.7. And then their average margin of victory. So Charlotte's minus 17.7. North Texas is plus 19.3. The against the spread or against the point spread information is the more useful information, I believe. So in this column here, I list their record so far in this season. So ATS refers to against the point spread, meaning did they cover the point spread? And their record is listed, there's win, loss, or pushes. So let's look at North Texas. So North Texas is 5-2-0. That means 5 times they cover the point spread, 2 times they did not cover the point spread, and 0 times were a push. This column is the most important column in this section. It tells you the percentage of times that they covered, which means the percentage of times you would have won in Vegas if you bet on them. So we're going to do here sort largest to smallest. I highlighted the teams that covered over 70% of the time. The break-even point is approximately 60%. You have to win 55 to 60% of the time on standard bets. Minus 110 to make a profit. So it's good to look at trends that are 70% or higher. And by the way, also too is if you look at CBS Sports, most experts, typically the top experts, are around 55% to 60%. So we're looking at outliers here, and we see I highlight here, these are teams that have covered the point spread 85.7% of the time. They're 6-1. Boise State, Memphis, Utah State, Western Michigan, Temple, Texas Tech, and Mississippi State. Their presentation here is useful because you can sort based on the game, and you can see, oh wow, North Texas covers the spread 71% versus Charlotte. Red is bad, by the way. Versus Charlotte, who did not cover 20% of the time. Okay, let's take a look at that matchup. Let's look at another. So here's another one. Northwestern has covered the point spread 71% of the time versus Nebraska, who did not cover the point spread 28% of the time. Again, another data point. And then this column here, ATS plus minus, is the average margin by which that team covered the point spread. Scrolling over to the right, we have the overs and unders. Overs and unders have really strong trends in terms of outliers. So let's take a look here. Over and under. So in this first column, it's over, under, and push. So 6 times over, 1 time under, and 0 push. So unlike against the spread, there's opportunities on both the over side and the under side. So in the case of over, there's 3 teams that have gone over 80% of the time. And that's Rutgers, Georgia Southern, and Navy. Now let's look at the unders. Green is good. Oklahoma has gone under 100% of the time. So that means they played 7 games. If you bet under on Oklahoma, you would have won every single one of those bets 7 times. What does that mean? That means that their offense is not good. Also means their defense is good. So bad offense, good defense. It also means that Vegas was wrong 7 times. That means that shows you the evidence that Vegas is not perfect, and not only that, they don't correct their errors. They don't correct their point spread enough to adjust for these errors. Then we have Auburn and North Carolina also going over 80% of the time. So, right, as I mentioned earlier, Bill Connelly also publishes a breakdown of offense, defense, and special teams. This is helpful because if you're doing overs and unders, you want to see, is this a good defense? Is this a good offense? How's their special teams? Now, these 3 numbers are combined to give the overall power rating. And I put this information here. And that concludes all the columns on the spreadsheet.